Hello, Hartford. I am Mark Stewart, also known as Stewart for Hartford. I'm going to show you my ballot. So this is what District 1 voters will see. General Assembly District is, yes, I am running for it. So I'm on here. Let me discuss all the candidates. There's 5 columns. I'll go downwards, 5 through 1. Beginning thus with the Registrar of Voters, who doesn't do that much. And in part for that reason, but also in part for a bigger reason, that I don't like the big two parties. The two-party system, we have two strong parties that muscle out competitors. And I think that's regretful. And thus, though Gigi Feliciano and Vanessa Garay-Jackson may be very competent, capable women for this post or others, I am going to vote for the petitioning candidate. That's at the bottom of the ballot, Sheila Hall. Please don't neglect the lower part of the ballot. Some of the best candidates for office, the most candid candidates, are usually the ones who are not from the big two parties. Big parties program their candidates. If not directly, there's an orthodoxy that their candidates kind of have to toe that line. Big party candidates sometimes have a thumb on them from the party bigwigs who are tied in with supporters and donors. Independents, petitioning candidates exemplify that, are not tied in. A multi-party system would be much better, okay? I think Europe's countries in parliamentary systems govern themselves better. Israel governs itself quite well, even though it's really fractious with 6 parties that jostle. They defend themselves well, they do social services well, they let businesses, they kind of cut down on businesses a little too much. But on the whole, the multi-party system, which was closer to what the framers envisioned, would be better for us. And thus, Ms. Hall, who I do not know, I've never met her, I've never read anything about her, but she will be getting my vote. Column 4. Well, I'd like everyone to look to column 4G, for good, because that's where your speaker, that is I, Mark Stewart Greenstein, reside. I'm on the ballot against incumbent Democrat Matt Ritter and a challenger 1 column below me, Daniel Adam Piper from the Socialist Resurgence Party. There's no Republican in this race. That's a bad thing because they've given up. They don't want to fight. And it's not that Ritter's so badass. It's that the city of Hartford is so Democrat dominated that Republicans fear getting beat. I don't think they should fear it. Even if you get beat, you can make a mark. That's what I'm doing, okay? Win or lose, this candidacy puts more stakes in the ground to return Connecticut to the kind of governance of the 70s and 80s, the kind of fiscal sanity that we had then, the kind of normalcy that our legislature promoted to the extent that they got involved at all. Our legislature gets involved in too many abnormal things, and it is led by the Democrats. Matt Ritter is a leader within the Democrats, and being able to stand up to the big man and having voters behind me who do respect an outsider, not from government service, recognizing that outside values and outside qualities may be better. That's what I bring. I would help the legislature run closer to your households. Households don't fritter away money. Households reward good behavior and punish bad behavior in their kids. The legislature does not do that with malfeasance in its state employees. And the upside, good behavior, they don't do merit pay for teachers. They don't do bonuses like they should for bringing in business from out of state. A governor should do that. A legislature should empower our governor to do that. So, easy call here. It would be I on line 4G, Mark Stewart Greenstein. If you want to see a lot more, you can go to stewartforliberty.com, because I ran for governor 2 years ago. There's a lot of relevant videos on that. Let us now move on. State senator, a 3-person race there too. John Fanfara is the incumbent Democrat. Barbara Rui has run against him 5 times. She's the Republican nominee. And Mary L. Sanders of the Green Party. This is a tough call for me. It's a tough call between Barbara Rui and Mary Sanders. It is not a tough call to get John Fanfara a long-term, do nothing is actually a compliment, do bad Democrat, because there are too many Democrats in the legislature that are bringing Connecticut down. Fanfara is one of them. He should go. Whether that's at the hands of Barbara or Mary, I'm not sure. Barbara's a nice woman. I met her. She's fervent enough. She's principled enough. I do again like Green Party, as a contender. Now, I think most of their values are wrong, but breaking up that 2-party system, that has merit too. So it is a tough call. Please don't vote for Fanfara, okay? He's been in for 22 years. Unremarkable at best, and there's a lot of bad things that he and his Senate Democrats have foisted on Connecticut to move us from what was a wonderful state, ranked in the 80s and early 90s, #1 for quality of life. Even into the early 2000s, it still hung in there about number 5, 6, okay? We're deep in the double digits now, okay? We may be just above the median. That's sad, and it owes to bad government. Column 2, a 3-person race here. Mary Fay, Republican. John Larson, incumbent Democrat. He has been with us for 20 years. And Tom McCormick, Green Party challenger. I am going to stay neutral in part because I'm moderating a debate among all 3 of them. So I will make comments about their parties, okay? All of them are nice people, okay? I've met every one of them, nice people. I don't think you go wrong on personal integrity with Larson, Mary Fay, or Tom McCormick. I do think you go wrong voting the Democrat Party. They are too powerful. They've used their power badly. They almost take us for, they take some people for granted. I think they take most of Connecticut for granted. And their power is fueled by bad influences, by big campaign donors. They are more beholden to taking money and doing things for those donors than any other party. That deserves to be stopped. Democrats are the ones behind a lack of choice in schools. It really affects urban areas. It really should be choice throughout Connecticut. Democrats, they're too tied to teachers' unions who don't like the merits of voucher systems to go along with it. Shame on them. The party is decrepit. Though I'm still a Democrat, small d, and registered D, their leadership should go. If for some reason you are compelled to vote John Larson on column 2A, and nobody's compelled, okay, you're his mother, okay? If you are his mom, use John Larson on the Working Families Party line 2D. He shows up, he got their endorsement. A small party that I think deserves to have influence, even though I think their values are quite wayward. They don't adhere to actually what working families want. But breaking up the 2-party system, big goal here. If you really like to break up the 2-party system, that would be a vote for Tom McCormick. And if you, I would like to see, if you like Mary Fay and can have a hold your nose vote on the Republican aspect, because Republicans in DC have been horrible. Vote as a write-in, which is allowed. Okay, you can write in Mary Fay, your vote will count because they accumulate, and then you have a vote with more integrity. Now, I'll give you the most integrity. There's a line called Epic Party. Haven't heard of them before. There are candidates who can be on that party line, conservative or liberal, but with integrity, and don't want to be part of either of the two big parties. I created the Epic Party. It's there especially for Republicans who feel tarnished by the Republicans in D.C. When you have a scarlet letter on your back, that's what R is these days in the Northeast. The Epic Party is a possible savior for candidates who want to run with Epic. We'll be here in 2022. I am the only one on the ballot for Epic in 2020. All right, I'm going to save number 1 for a different video. Thanks for listening here. Trump Biden next.